Somebody's phone is on playing.
It's dead.
Howdy, 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 hello. This is Conversations with Cassandra, and I am Cassandra. And I am with the bestest DJ on the planet. And his name be
DJ Nappy Red.
DJ Nappy Red.
How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
And we also have in the room with us one of the owners of Blendz 99.8, and he is my little brother in the Lord. What be your name?
I be Dre.
He be Dre. So we're so glad to have Dre in the house with us. And my guest for today, who is returning from last week because he literally had us mesmerized by the stories that he was telling. Mr. What your name be?
Nathan Knight.
And who are you, Mr. Nathan Knight?
I'm president for the DeKalb County Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I'm president for the Student Movement for American Democracy. I'm president for the American Civil Rights Foot Soldiers.
Hello. That's a pretty impressive resume, I would say. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So we are sitting here with iconicness in the room. So Mr. Nathan is going to be sharing some great historical information with us on today. But I wanted to start, guys, by just paying honor to whom honor is due. Because this week we lost a good one, y'all. We lost a good one. And that's Reverend Jesse Jackson Jr. I'm telling you, I have talked to him one-on-one. People can say what they want, but this man is so humble. And he was so unassuming that it just really, it blessed me. And when he got ready to talk and he opened his mouth, it was like, boom. It just hit you dead in your face, and he wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need today. We need more leaders, people that will step up and say what needs to be said, unafraid. Now, Mr. Nathan, Reverend Jackson. Tell us a little bit about what you know about him.
Well, I met Reverend Jackson when I was 16 years of age. I was a student at North Carolina A&T State University. I was a freshman. And Reverend Jesse Jackson was a 5-year senior. He was a transfer student. And I have to say this. I love my leader. We have played chess games together over the years. And I always remind him that I got started in the movement a year before he did.
Okay.
And,
Beautiful.
We have met and crisscrossed paths because of what we do so many times, but there are moments that I cherish over and above some of the others. But he was a man who was fearless. He was fearless in life. He was fearless at play, and he didn't take any stuff even on a chessboard. If you go take his rook or his pawn or his queen and checkmate him, he'll delay the game to give you time to rethink and to see if he can outthink. Yes.
Wow.
Today we're not really mourning the loss of Reverend Jesse Jackson. He will always be with us. He has taught so many people, fed into them. And I remember someone asked me, and I always tease them about this, because they don't know his real beginning. They don't know that he spent time at Wheat Street Baptist Church and with Reverend Borders.
In Atlanta.
Georgia. Yes. And they don't know where some of the things and principles that he got and gave, where they came from originally. He didn't try to keep any secrets because he told you, you are somebody.
You are somebody.
I am somebody.
Yes,
We
yes,
are somebody.
yes,
Right, that's
yes,
it. All
yes,
right.
yes.
Well, those are the words of Reverend Borders.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Borders wrote a book back in the 50s.
Mm.
And I happened to come across it when I was looking through some of the materials that you had told me to look into concerning the Moore's Fort Bridge literary reenactment. There it is, right there in black and white.
Mm.
I am somebody.
There you go.
Yes,
You are somebody.
yes.
right.
We.
Yes. And so he took those words. He took them first throughout the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. He expanded his sphere across the world. Those words resonate in places right now as we are gathered here, and you got things going on in Gaza, you got things going on in the Arab nation, you got things going on in the African nations, and at the center of that, Nelson Mandela and some of the other African leaders, Lumumba, who was killed, and so many others who are still in the battle, and they're still crying, I am somebody.
Yes, yes.
And you know, when I look at him and Bill Clinton, and I saw the embrace to Bill was one of the few presidents of the United States that could have had a black mother or a black father.
Oh, yeah. I always said he was white chocolate.
White chocolate.
That was white chocolate right there. I mean, he is white chocolate.
Yeah.
Because he's still with us.
Well, when Bill and Hillary was here, when Hillary was running her campaign, it was Jesse who had his birthday party at the Hyatt Regency. And Jonathan, don't worry, I'll let you get back on me. Jonathan, I was downstairs in the car playing chess. But when we came up, it was business as usual. But this man and the president of the United States of America got together like friends, old friends. And so that was Jesse, that was Bill. The climate is not the same today.
No.
I met him when I was 16 years of age at A&T State University. I was a freshman. And the second thing that I saw, that he had my little daughter that was born that year. My daughter, Taja, only had one child, and Jesse held her in his arms many times because my wife would meet me and we'll go to the student union, and that's where I would do my study, and she would do her study because she was a year younger than me, but 2 years behind me. But Jesse always embraced, always taught, and always had something to say about everything. We started I call it the first student movement of America that was inherited by Jesse Jackson and the four Greensboro men that did the protest at the Woolworth stores. But it really started by Benny College Bills. They want to take anything for the guys, but the girls was there in 1937.
Nice.
Wow.
And you can't take that away from them.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies that was a part of that protest ended up being my school teacher at Dudley High School, James B. Dudley. So Jesse Jackson. We was at the Legacy Museum in Montgomery when it first opened up. And those of you who don't know the Legacy Museum in Montgomery,
please go.
Yes, it is something to see.
It's something.
It's an experience that you will never forget.
Yes.
The lynchings of African Americans across the country.
Yes.
And mobilized for life, from steel beams and a steel anchor to concrete where the names are.
Yes.
You will never forget that experience. But Jesse and I spoke outside of there. And it was really something to be able for me to talk to him about things that he related to that was not related to work. We could talk about his days as a ball player, the time he spent running between classes and being late because he was joining and pledging for a fraternity. The memorable moments when we were outside in front of Howard Hall, the girls' dorm, where he lost his position. I would remind him of that. Leader, you lost your position, but you didn't lose the ball. So we had good moments to talk about.
Yeah.
And he loved me recounted that moment, really, to be honest with you, because he had gone out for quarterback. He had made the team. A freshman coming from the library, headed towards Holland Hall. Jesse, my cousin Clyde Pellaway, and other football players was coming from the cafeteria. And you always had that meeting point at Holland Hall, the girls' dorm, before you had to go either turn left and go right. So on this particular day, they were throwing the ball between them. The line was in the tackles and a couple of receivers that was having fun just tossing the ball and keeping it for someone. When one of them took the ball and hurled it so that another could catch it, and the boy missed the ball. And it started rolling and tumbling, and two young men walking. One of them picked it up, tossed it in the air a couple times, and they told him, throw the ball. And when he didn't do it, they used some words that the young man didn't like. And so he took the ball through it one last time, and then he reared back. As they came running towards him, he swung that ball across the field from the girls' dorm, across the road to where the cafeteria was, and it rolled even more after that. And that's when Jesse lost his job.
Listen,
That boy threw that ball.
Listen, okay? Listen, these are the types of stories that are priceless.
Yeah.
You talking intimate stuff that we never would have known had we not had somebody like Mr. Nathan that was there. See, that's what it's all about. Let's not ever forget what these men, we remember them a certain way, but just think about it. There are people that personally interacted with these people like Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson and John Lewis. And so I'm just grateful for you being here. We're going to be right back in a few minutes, and we're going to have our owner.
Oh my God.
He's going to ask some questions of Mr. Nathan.
Why not never read?
Because you're going to ask some questions. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll be right back, guys, in a couple of minutes. So hang in there. Thank you for tuning in. Tell me what's wrong. Let me come out of make sure he's gone. Can I show you off and put you on? Is that attention? Very hurt. What's his name again?
Gabriel Jacoby.
Yeah. Okay, Gabriel Jacoby.
Song is Baby.
Yeah, he almost sounds like Prince. He really does.
And D'Angelo mix.
Yeah, I love D'Angelo.
I love this song.
Yeah, it's cute.
Can't forget that.
I feel you gotta have a question. Okay. And then once we get talking, I'm gonna ask you questions. Let me show you. And then I'm gonna talk baby.
to Conversations with Cassandra.
All right, and we are back. And when I tell you, I am so excited, Dre, Red, I am so excited about Mr. Nathan Knight being with us. Mr. Nathan Knight has been a civil rights and human rights activist for longer than I've been alive, and I'm 66, so let's just weigh that, okay? So, Mr. Nathan, we're going to let Andre ask you a couple of questions, and then we'll go for it.
So my question to you is about Jesse Jackson, right? You said you met him when you was 12 years old.
No. I met Dr. King when I was 10. Mm-hmm. I met Jesse when I was 16.
16. All right, so
I started the school at 16.
16. All right, so
that was college.
College.
Yes, mm-hmm. College. Oh. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first met him, like what did you say to him when you first met him for the first time?
It doesn't. The conversation didn't happen quite that way. It was a little bit different.
Okay.
Our conversations at that time was about the movement. Mm. You see, I wasn't supposed to be over there at A&T State University the year before.
Okay.
But I would leave my house, walk 2.5 miles to North Carolina A&T State University, be there at breakfast time when all the kids was coming by, so I could get the information, the latest information that was going on in the civil rights movement. Mm. So when I was there and saw them, I knew who they were because of the number of times. So I didn't have direct conversation on that day.
Okay. My
conversations came later. In fact, the conversation I had with him was he wanted to know who that cute little baby was in my arms. My daughter was born that year. Mm. And Jesse held my daughter at the beginning of a Stevie Wonder concert that was taking place on the college campus.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she always said, "You ain't my daddy, Jesse Jackson's my daddy."
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Really.
So I only had one child, spoiled rotten, because everybody in the civil rights movement, including Jesse, she's always felt I'm special.
Mm-hmm. And she was.
But she was, though.
Yeah, and she still is.
Right.
The thing about it is that our conversations came from the social side rather than from the civil rights side. And then it came from the civil rights side because I got actively involved in what was taking place at the Woolworth stores back in 1960.
Woolworth.
Yeah.
Woolworth. Oh, my God.
And see, I was 13.
1960.
Jesse wasn't on the scene yet.
Right.
And that's why when he came, I said, man, I was in the mood before you.
There you go. There you go.
And
that's great.
That's our conversation. But we have met at other places where it was very serious. And one was Rock Hill, South Carolina, when they had the protests there. When we had the different movements in North Carolina, everybody think about the Woolworth stores, but they don't think about public accommodations. Dr. King spoke about public accommodations and voting when he came up in 1958. So I had things to talk to Jesse about.
Right.
And Jesse had things to talk to me about because he wanted to talk to me about girls. Yeah, because he couldn't understand it.
Right.
All of the kids from North Carolina A&T State University that was part of the off-campus program, they would all go to Holland Hall and they would all go over to the library, and the football players would come by, and he couldn't understand how I could be so young and I'm talking to all these girls because those are my brother's friends.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, so our conversation was very light in the way we met. And then it became very serious when things started happening and he started getting involved. And Jesse got involved, then that was the turning point. I had someone who could answer my questions about what was taking place down in Mississippi. I had someone who could tell me about the shootings and killings that was taking place among the people that was on the bus ride, the freedom rides. So that's how our conversation ensued. It ensued because I was in the wrong place.
Right.
I was supposed to be at high school, But I wasn't. I walked from the campus many days to come over there. I ate breakfast with the football players. I knew what time they were coming out of the building. And when they came out, they came into the quadrangle right outside of the girls' dorm at Holland Hall. And I could ask and be told and listen to the speeches that was being made. Justin was an orator.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Strong.
Now that's one thing I will give. That when he speaks, it was like when Dr. King speaks. It just did. I mean, I got chills the first time I heard him speak. I literally got chills all over me because his words were so seasoned with, I call it the anointing. We can call it, everybody call it what it wants.
Right.
But it just, you knew it was something special about him and about what he was saying because of the way you felt when he was talking. So, Andre, you got another question?
Yes.
I want. Let me say something real quick. I seen the picture of you standing next to him, him sitting down.
Yeah.
And when I seen that picture, I was like, "That's beautiful."
Yeah, man.
I know you must have been. You was in your little heaven then.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. It was awesome because he was so kind. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to ask him, a couple of questions, and I asked him, a couple of questions, and he graciously answered me, and I was like, I'm actually talking to Jesse Jackson, and he's answering me, and then we met, I'd met him several times before that at Bloody Sunday. Listen, every person, not just Black people, every person should go to Selma, Alabama and watch or march in that Bloody Sunday march. Remember, that's where the pictures that we've seen for years now of the dogs, attacking the people and the sheriff, them beating them, that was Bloody Sunday. That was when John Lewis was hurt and almost killed.
Yeah.
He was almost killed during that march. And let me tell y'all, I've marched over in Selma several years now. When I tell you, it's something about when you marching over that bridge and you see thousands of people, white, Black, indigenous. I mean, it will mess you up. I'm a crybaby anyway, but the tears are coming down because we got to get involved. If you're not doing anything, it's March the 8th.
It's March the 4th or 8th.
Yeah, I think it's the 8th. Yeah,
it's the 8th.
It's the Sunday, March the 8th in Selma, Alabama, and I drive down there year after year because the impact is something that keeps you moving. It'll keep you saying we gotta keep these changes coming. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that. We are. I just want. If you guys had any other questions, okay.
So, Miss Kimberly from Maryland said hello.
Hi.
So you've met a lot of people in your life, right?
Oh yes.
So, from the people that you've met in your life, who gave you the most wisdom about life?
That's a toughie because I'm always in everybody's mind.
Yeah.
There was a man when I was in Boy Scouts. His name was Mr. Williamson. And in order to be a Life Scout, you had to have a merit badges and civic responsibility. You had to have three of them. I think he provided me and put me on the road that I needed to be on and got clarity from the very beginning as to what was happening in the civil rights movement. And I think that Mr. Williams, who died, will be a person I'm forever grateful. And he had a friend, and his friend was a Tuskegee Airman.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And his daughters were in my class. So I would go to, she thought I was coming over there to see her. I was going to see her dad. I was going to see the Tuskegee Airmen because these guys volunteered to help the Boy Scout organizations with their Boy Scouts. So I was tutored.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was tutored by some great men in my life, but those two steered me in the right direction. And that's when I met the third person, who would be among those. And it was Dr. George Arroyo. Dr. George Arroyo was a part of the Grace Lutheran Church system. And he was the one that encouraged me to go higher up in the Boy Scouts. And then you come in, I meet people like James Tower, James Hightower, who's a student at North Carolina A&T State University, who's got all this information about all these places where things are happening. And he was giving me the calendar events that would allow me to be able to make a list of where I want to go during the summertime. You see, I travel the United States of America in the South on the back of a red International truck. And I want to tell you about that a little bit later.
Okay.
We are going to listen. You guys hang in there because we are going to handle some business and we'll be right back. And you are listening to Conversations with Cassandra. And we got Dre and we got Nevery.
Yes. And hey, Sharon from Charlotte, how you doing?
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, folks, for hanging out. 99.8. This is my favorite song probably in the world because I just believe a change has got to come. We got to see a change.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river I've been running.
Those bullets that went through their body.
Every since
Oh yeah, this is always hard. The fourth Bridge. They shot those people so many times and blew the top of one of the women's heads off. Came up over there and blew the top of her head off. She pulled away and they went behind her and did that. Shot one of the men in their face, literally blew his face open. I mean, this is people, human beings. I'm telling you.
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up not in me. Back down on my knees. Oh, every time that I thought I could last for long.
Yo, what's good? This is DJ Nappy Red, and I'm tuned into Conversations with Cassandra. Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Last week when we played this song, and I seen it in you, right? I've never had a problem with this song until I watch Malcolm X. And every time I listen to this song and I hear this song, I get pretty emotional about that.
Well, I met the family members of the Morris Ford Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And that song is sang Lola and her friend. They sang songs as the shooting and the aftermath of the bullets fired into the bodies of 4 Black men and women
Mm-hmm.
that was lynched. And so let me share something with you. I was born January 1st, 1947. Cassandra did not know when she asked me, Nathan, will you be in the display? And I said, what do you want me to do? She said, I want you to play this part of this guy named Lamar. Well, she said, go do some research work and find out something about him.
Mhm.
I found out that Lamar was beaten down inside of an ice house on January 1st, 1947, the same day that I was born.
Yeah.
The same day I was born, she asked me to play.
And you had no idea.
We didn't even know.
None.
I wasn't even involved in acting or anything.
Right.
I'm painting. I'm a civil rights activist.
Right.
And so I got thrust into a situation where I was compelled physically, mentally, and spiritually into what took place. I went and did research at Reverend Borders Church because I wanted to know more. The book wasn't available to me. It was found. A man named John Jones who worked at the church was the one that made it. He said, look, come here. I want to show you some things. I said, what is it? He said, this is some of the old stuff here that's been in the church when Reverend Borders was here. Take a peek at it. And there was the book. That's how I found out. So when that song plays, it goes to my body.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. I get transformed when I think about it, and I'm fighting for people's rights. When I'm coming in touch with the adversary, like I had to do earlier today before I got here, I don't go in there with my spirit. I go in there with the spirit of those who have died, those who have been victimized, and those who need help and to get help. And I want to make sure I don't fail them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's what I bump into when I hear that.
Okay.
And that's what happens to people like him and I that are activists. When you do civil and human rights, let me tell you something. I get so emotional. People are like, you're a crybaby. Yeah, especially when it comes to what has been done to our people. Let me tell you, ain't no forget that. How do you forget the brutality that Mr. Nathan is talking about the Moores Ford Bridge lynching reenactment, which is the lynching of 4 African Americans and a baby that hadn't even been born in 1946 in Monroe, Georgia. And they shot those people so many times like animals, like they didn't, like, who does that?
There are anthills when we perform.
Yeah.
And they'll land on the ground. The ants are eating at the bodies of the people who are acting in the movie. And they're supposed to be still and be dead. So when I look at that, I'm not looking at a reenactment. I'm looking at where and what is the source of the ants. I think there's bodies out there. And when I did my artwork, I was asking Cassandra a few minutes ago, do you think it'd be possible if I could put some bas-reliefs? Bas-reliefs is a sculpted artwork on a board or it's on your canvas. And I didn't paint them. They're white. And so this year I want to add that element. I have pictures 8 foot tall of the ones that were victims of some of the actors and the director of Moores Ford Bridge. I did that out of my heart. That's not something you get paid for.
Yeah,
They're not for sale.
Right.
So when I hear this, that's to me like the national anthem.
Yeah.
You stand up and you take your head off.
Yeah. And we have to remember that, guys, that there were people that paid a price, and that was a high price. Your life, it was a high price. And remember that with the Moores Ford Bridge lynching, it was a year, 1946, the first year that Black people were allowed to vote in the Democratic primary in Georgia. And the then governor of the state of Georgia, Eugene Talmadge, ran on a platform, and y'all please listen carefully, ran on a platforms that niggers may vote in this primary, but if they reelected him, niggers would not vote in the next primary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he ran on. Division, racism, and what do we have going on right now? A president that is running on divisiveness, racism, and taking away, trying everything he can to take away the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
But Harris Truman, during the same year, he embraced what was going on because the students up in Washington, D.C., they protested because of the killings that took place, and they put demands upon him about voters' rights for the soldiers, and he was for it.
Yeah.
So we got a balance in our history, but we don't have a balance in the Senate where the votes are being cast.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a balance with the people making decisions, who are the judges in our Supreme Court. And we have learned that we'll never have a balance in our community if we don't go to those polls and vote. You have to go and vote.
Vote, please.
It's most important that you make changes in your community before you try to make them in the state or make them in the country. You make them in the community, then you got control in the state, and you will have control in the country.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a question, right? Because people are turned away from voting because
they don't know their power.
That, and also
scare tactics.
Didn't somebody beat Trump by like 3 million votes, and then they said, no, we need the electoral.
Right.
So when that happened,
a lot of discouraged.
They got discouraged from it, and a lot of people was like, well, my vote don't count anyway because they took electoral votes. It was like 14 electoral votes that put him in office, and he lost by 3 million votes. So if he lost by 3 million votes, like, why was the electoral votes so powerful to put him in over that 3 million?
Because every state has so many, it's called the Electoral College. Every state has so many people that it's a part of the Electoral College. So in spite of the fact of the popular vote, if the electoral votes are not given when they have the conventions and those votes are ratified, then you can have more votes, but still don't get ratification. Well, and it goes back beyond that. Let's take it back to where the problem started. The problem started with 2 words: Jim Crow.
Exactly.
Now, if you don't know what Jim Crow was, the real Jim Crow was a minstrel who was sitting outside of a place in Baltimore, Maryland, dancing a tune, dancing a jig. And I think this guy named was Rice that saw him. He was also a white actor. So he stole the information and he created what we call today Jim Crowism, because he went and did things and a third person heard it and said, look, we need to stop people, black people, from sitting down, eating, and all the other things that whites and blacks was doing in that time. Up until then, black men had the right to vote. And it became censored. It got censored. And that censorship came because whites said, no, if we're going to take one thing for them, let's take some more. And so for 50 years, you had Jim Crowism existing all the way through out until we had campaigns to try to bring it to an end. And that's why people don't understand. Your vote is very, very important because you had the right to vote and you let these people take it away from you, and they're trying to do the same thing again. So if you sleep, they are going to do that. And that is what has happened. But we got young people who said, no, heck no. We are not going to tolerate it. It's not going to happen. And you haven't heard their voices yet. I can't wait till the day when I come up here and a young person who's out there marching right now, and one that's contemplating and say, wait a minute, this has happened to my neighbor, this has happened to my mom. I see people down the street who've been victimized by what has happened in our country, and we're not going to and they are doing it. We got over 200 schools in it now. 4 weeks ago, we didn't have 2. Decatur High School was one of the second ones.
Yeah, but aren't they closing some of the, they closing like 27 schools here?
It doesn't matter. They cannot take away the biggest student movement for American democracy that ever in this country. Already we've had over 11 million people before the kids got involved. Now that the kids are involved, we skipped over a group. The college kids did not mobilize and do what these kids are doing,
Right.
even though some of them was out there.
Right.
Now, North Carolina A&T State University, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, you could name off the list all the way up to Amherst. You got these kids are mobilizing because they're looking down at these teenagers. And boy, I am so pleased, I'm so happy because it's me all over again with Jesse Jackson, with all of the other activists that was taking place. Medgar Evers down in Jackson, Mississippi, who was killed. And when you sit down and look at all this stuff together, coming together, we got the biggest movement. We need to be proud. It took something that was in existence that people thought was dead. It was never dead. It was always there. What Donald Trump is doing is sanctioned by the people who own all these buildings around you.
Wow.
Big business is what pays him, and he's not speaking his voice. He's speaking what they have told him to say.
Absolutely.
He's a puppet.
Absolutely. That's it. So it's all about the money, guys. Remember that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about Montgomery, Alabama Museum. See you back.
I can't wait for that, y'all.
Power Blendz
99.8.
This is Brown
Hi,
Sugar on
YouTube.
Blendz
Hey.
99.8. The take
Hey,
over
guys.
here. Please call me in
I wasn't supposed to mention Donald Trump's name, right?
1777.
Yeah, mention his name. I have no problem with that.
Well, I'm sorry.
I always take care of you.
Yeah.
Always take care of you.
You know, I was with Jesse Jackson with the last march that he it was 55 hours down to Montgomery. Al Sharpton, myself, and Jesse would walk the last leg of that. Jesse fell down. I had the umbrella. And Al Sharpton grabbed him. And Jesse was under. Johnson was holding Jesse up. It was the last march he was in. And we got the photograph for it. And it was Al Sharpton was the one that posted it. I haven't posted anything. I haven't had time to think about that.
Okay. Wait, I was like, I did not know CPR.
didn't text you anything yet?
Yeah, Brandon, he said he's about 5 minutes away.
Dre, you might want to go by now. You might want to go and just sit on this side for right now. He's 5 minutes away, but I didn't want to walk while he's talking. About 10 seconds. Just press it.
Howdy, y'all. This is Conversations with Cassandra, and this is, of course, Cassandra. Join me on our Blendz 99.8.
Howdy, y'all. We is back. And I said when we took our break that what we would like to talk about now is an amazing place, somewhere else that we can go and get more of our history, more of our story. And that is the Lynching Museum in Montgomery, Alabama. OMG. If you have not been to Montgomery, just like if you ain't been to Selma, this is a trip that you need to take and take your families on. I'm telling you that, okay, this place has areas of it that will have you boo-hoo crying like a baby. I mean, when I went, there were grown men of all races walking around crying, wiping, man, Miss Nathan, just tell me a little bit about that.
I know 3 of them. One, Jesse Jackson and I met out front before we got our ride to go to the Lynching Museum. We were over at the Rosa Parks Museum. We had to go about another 1.5 miles or so to get to the Lynching Museum. And as we talked about it, Dr. Charles Steele Jr. and his wife came up, and the chairman came up.
Tell them who Charles Steele is, Dr. Charles Steele.
Dr. Charles Steele Jr. is the president, retired from the Southern Christian Leadership Conference that built the office building that SCLC has now.
In Atlanta.
He's a money man, he's a planner, and he's also one of the greatest presidents that we had. Jesse was there, and so was the chairman, Dr. Bernard Lafayette. The problem is that everybody had to go different ways for different reasons because there were different things taking place. But we were outside, and I recall, and I got the picture. I'll bring up here and give you guys a copy of it. He's standing on the outside. We have a student and a professor from the Morris Brown College that was there, and they were speaking about the art programs that was at the school and how envious they were of Spelman. So Jeff and I had conversations there, but the conversation was yet to come, because when we got to that museum, we parted ways. He went ahead of us, and he came out of the museum ahead, and we met outside, and that's where we took the photograph together. But before I go into that, I want to say one thing. I was with Jesse Jackson on the last march that he did, that he was capable of doing before he got really sick. And that march was a 55-mile march from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery, Alabama. And the last 12 miles, Reverend L. Sharpton had brought students in on the bus to be a part of that. And it rained terribly so that day. And Jonathan, his son, was with him, and caretaker. But he also had the family members of George Floyd out of Texas that was there. And so we started the march up. We started the march after the rain subsided. And just as we started, I pulled out my umbrella to protect Jesse from the rain. And I did not know it. Al Shelter posted a picture. I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
But he posted a picture. I got my hand on one side of it. Al got his other, and Jesse's in the center between the two of us, walking in the rain, the last leg of the civil rights movement. And I was so proud of him.
Mm.
I was so proud of my leader because I know that it was a year and a half before that y'all had to pick me up and pray for me.
Yeah.
Right.
At
Yeah.
Selma.
Yeah.
At Selma.
Yeah.
I fell down and couldn't get up.
Yeah.
And it took prayer to get me up.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to fight through a struggle
Mhm.
when you can't physically do what your mind is telling you to do.
Right.
And it took prayer warriors around me. I thought I was going to be in the hospital that day. And I didn't know what was going to happen because Jesse took a fall.
Mhm.
Mm.
He took a fall that day. And when he took a fall, fortunately, Jonathan was there. We was together at the SLC convention at Barbara,
Mhm. Mhm.
I
I
forget
know.
the preacher's last name,
Yeah. Yeah.
at Cascade.
Yeah.
And we have pictures together of that moment. There's so many moments. I haven't posted anything with me and Jesse because I'm still living, I'm living his life.
Mm-hmm.
You see, as far as I'm concerned, he's very much alive because the things he put inside of me will never go away.
Right.
And so that day that we was there at the Lynching Museum, yes, grown men will cry.
Yeah.
And they'll cry for the right reasons.
Yeah.
We cry because we don't feel that we have done enough and there's more that can and need to be done. And not having enough time, not having enough people, not having enough. I have never borrowed $1 in my life from anyone, and I never had a job.
Mm.
My job is the people causes. That's what I fight for. That's what I do. That's who I am, and that's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that you can describe to a person. It's something that person has to experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy? I've never been to any of these places that y'all are mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
No. I've never been to any of these places, right? But I'm going this year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm going this year.
Oh yeah.
My question is, I heard like a couple individuals say that the Selma, the reenactment that you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and the marches that's being done, like somebody said to me that the Million Man March and the
1995.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any difference to? Is it the same reasons that they had the Million Man March to?
Yes and no.
Okay, can you explain?
The national marches have taken place across the United States, whether by the National Urban League, the National Congress of Black Women, or the NAACP, or any other group, as well as the SCLC. Those marches have things that need to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them need to be addressed by congressmen, and some of them need to be addressed by people. The demands that are made by each group is different. When I was there and getting bit by mosquitoes in the summer, in August of 1963, that was no fun, but you were transfixed because there was information that you're going to have to take back home. There are things that you're going to be energized to do when you get there. And those marches bringing you together in one sense, and you bring others together in another sense, in your pursuits to get justice,
Mm.
to get a law, to get a constitution and a democracy that's equal for all people. Do you know what that? Let's go back a minute. A minute ago, we was talking about Jim Crowism.
Right.
Just 5 years before Jim Crowism, African American men had the right to vote.
Right.
And so that right to vote was taken.
Mm.
White women didn't even have the right to vote. The white male had the right, and then the black man had the right, but women didn't have the right. So where did they get that power from? In the 60s, the white female got energized because of African Americans in pursuit of their right. They energized them to get organized. But right here in this city in 1895, right down the street at Piedmont Park,
Mm-hmm.
you had a black Negro Congress group that came down and organized where Booker T. Washington was organizing and speaking at the, they call it the Colored People Art. It was the Colored People Art. It wasn't a museum, it was an exposition.
Mhm.
You had two things that was taking place simultaneously.
Mhm.
And different people got different things out of it. I got more out of what was going on with the women because of the historical significance of it. Let me explain that real quick because I know our time is going to run tight on me. They brought up the issues that Black people need to be dealing with now.
Mm.
Booker T. Washington brought up issues that white people and Black people need to do together. W.E.B. Du Bois brought up during the same meeting what a small percentage of Black people should be doing. And so you had to tell the tenth, you had a conversation and a speech that was given where everybody thought it was for them.
Mm.
When you have these marches, the March on Washington, the Million Man March, everybody listening to the same words, but everybody not getting the same thing. And when they go back into the communities, they are galvanized to be more proactive about their jobs and responsibilities they have to their community, to their state, and to the country.
Mm.
We need that energy. And one of the biggest things I've heard by some of the people who have participated is that, what are we supposed to do? You're supposed to listen, and then you wouldn't have to ask that question.
Right.
Every speaker up there told you what you need to do.
Right.
So I'm looking at the last march that Jesse Jackson was in, and I'm looking at the energy. I'm looking at the conversation that he had before that at our convention over here. And I think, I'm sorry, because I still can't think of Barbara's name.
Yeah, I can't.
But there's a church over in Cascade, on Cascade Road, right there.
King.
Cascade,
Barbara King.
that's her name.
Barbara King.
Barbara King.
Okay.
She was the pastor, and we had the convention at his church. Reverend Jesse Jackson was there, and he spoke.
Mm.
He was very direct. He spoke, painfully spoke, and then he sat back down in his wheelchair. There was a young man with him, his name was John Evans, that was in a wheelchair also. Mm-hmm. Jesse came over and saw him in the wheelchair, and they spoke. They were friends. They had met up for years.
Mm.
And he found the strength to stand up.
Mm. Nice.
This is what I'm talking about. The meetings got something different for everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For Jesse, it was the strength to stand up and forget about what he was going through and look at the pain and suffering of somebody else and went over there to find out, what can I do for you? John Evans, it was a stalwart and still a stalwart, still living. He's in Sadie G. Mays nursing home.
Mm.
He was a member of the city council here. He was a member of the commissioners here in DeKalb County. He and I are a lot like this as brothers. when you asked me a moment ago, what inspired me, I went to my youth. But I had inspiration all along. I could never give you the names of everybody.
Right.
It would be, I'll be still here talking. I'll be talking about Judge L. Rita Alexander. I'll be talking about Senator and the member of the House of Representatives, Major High. I'll be talking about the Soul City properties that was given to Ford McKissick, who took me as a young kid down to Washington, North Carolina, where a young girl was being raped and attacked by an officer, and she killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things. And I'll be talking about Reverend Ben Chavis, who at that time was a little better than a teenager himself, but he was teaching prayer to kids in Wilmington, North Carolina, and became victimized for that.
Mm.
He was incarcerated and in prison for what he did. Nothing except teach.
Right.
The Wilmington 10. So when you go to these places, and when you go and you look at the men, look at their stories. Take out one. Ben Chavis has a story. Jesse Jackson has a story. People say, when he's going to write a book? I mean, you don't ask Jesse Jackson about a book. You talk about encyclopedias.
Okay. Yes, it'll be more than a book. It'll be more than one volume. And
we have been blessed and fortunate.
Yes.
And you have been blessed and fortunate because you can still affect your community. You can go and join an organization.
Yes.
You can go and give some time to an organization in your community to help the veterans.
Yes.
If you want to feed the homeless, show them how to feed themselves.
Yes.
Show them how to heal.
Right.
Don't give them a sandwich. Give them something that's going to last for a lifetime. Give them some help. We have what we call the Big Heart Initiative, where we go out into the community. We help senior citizens.
Right.
Fix their houses.
Yes.
Get their money back from people who have taken their money through insurance fraud.
Yes.
Right.
We're not just civil rights. We are a human rights body that fight for the rights of our people.
Amen. Listen, oh boy.
Listen.
Boy, Mr. Knight.
Yes, Mr. Nathan Knight.
Yeah, boy, you put out some knowledge and wisdom today. And I hope that you guys were absorbing everything that he said, because this man lives and breathes.
I'm trying to come hang out.
Come on now.
I'm trying to go hang out with him.
Come on, civil and human rights. That's man. Did y'all hear some of them stories?
Yes.
Stuff we heard about on newspapers and on television. He actually was there living it with these people. Martin Luther King, John Lewis, Jesse Jackson. He lived it. So listen, guys, thank you, Mr. Nathan, for coming and sharing with us.
Well, David Abernathy, Dr. Creasy, you, and you.
Keep telling them.
Stand up.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Where you want to
Come on up. Come on. Yeah. No, he can go right here, Mr. Nathan. I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put Brandon here. Okay. Where's the little white that I can wipe off?
Yeah, that's
Mr. Nathan Knight. All right, Brandon. Yeah, I did.
Sorry, I played it too deep.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, it happened.
You're driving hard, but I don't know just who you are.
This is Friday. I will try to use it.
Where do you want to start? Is it that first question yet?
Or just, just whatever first question you have, like, why did you choose this time?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shadow when you walk, even no kiss. I would know.
Yeah.
They would have nothing to tell. So what could it be? Is there someone imitating me? Could she be taking my place? Look me in the face and tell me.
Miss Nathan, thank you so man. You blessed us. That's all I can say. Thank you so much.
Still not enough time talking to me.
Okay.
Not enough time.
I just appreciate you coming.
You know, we're glad I'm able to.
Yeah.
You prayed for me. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Are we going after this one?
Got 2 minutes.
Well, we are back. We are back for our special today, our 2-hour special. And if you think you were blessed by Mr. Nathan Knight, hello, he blessed us. Right now, we're going to talk to, first, let me say thank you again to the bestestest DJ on the planet, and his name be Nappy Red.
Thank you.
And then one of the owners of the station, what's your name be, bro?
I'll be Dre.
He be Dre. So we are so blessed to be here. And our guest on today, I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself.
All right. Well, good Friday, everyone. My name is Brandon Risher. My second appearance on here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm a psychologist and proud to say principal consultant for Elevate Strategic Services, which is new to Atlanta. So I'm just starting that. So it is a life coaching and mental health consultation organization. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the conversation and ready to get started. So.
Okay, well, you ain't got to say no more for us.
All right.
Because look at here, hey, Brandon.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I give them a little tidbit?
Sure.
Okay, so Brandon is the son of one of my high school friends,
Oh, that's cool.
Sharon Risher. And Sharon Risher, his mama is like off the chain. I want to bring her here to talk because her mother was one of the people killed. His grandmother, her mother, was one of the people killed when the Charleston 9 was killed in the church in Charleston. When that kid went in, Dylan Roof went in, killed. That's his mother. And I'm going to get Sharon. Hey, please start packing and tell me what time you can come out, what day you can come on down here and talk. So I wanted to put that out there because Brandon comes from great stock. So Brandon,
Yes.
I want to talk about let's talk about psychological healing.
Sure.
Exactly what does that mean when it comes to grief, trauma, anxiety, and relationships?
Sure. Well, first, let me give a little bit of background. The reason why I chose this topic today is because, with Black History Month, we tend to look at the present and look backwards so that we can look forward.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when we talk about, one of the pop terms is intergenerational trauma, right? We hear that quite a bit within our community.
Mm-hmm.
Trauma that is passed down from one generation, trauma that is not resolved, grief that is not resolved, and how it permeates through anxiety, through relationships, through grief, through depression. So as I was talking to some of my friends and some of my colleagues about it, I said, we talk so much about the trauma, but we don't talk so much about the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
So that this intergenerational trauma is either not something that we have to carry from generation to generation, and like we can kind of, do our own healing and prepare the next generation for their own grade of healing. So that was something that I really wanted to address today. So to the definition of psychological healing is very much like physical healing in the way that if there is something that occurs or a series of things that occurs, whether it's being, shot at or you have a toxic relationship and a bad breakup. In this case, my grandmother dying and the way she died is a trauma. And what is the process of getting yourself back to maybe not the state that you were before, because sometimes this thing is so transformational, it's hard to get back there, but not letting the trauma be this albatross that you can't get over. So finding tangible ways of being able to progress as an individual and how that will permeate through your relationships and other aspects of your life.
Okay. Listen, I want you to continue to talk about that. Just what we're going to keep it right there because that trauma, man, can you just imagine? I know that I have experienced a lot of trauma in my life, from a young kid. And let me tell you something, that trauma will literally travel with you, just like you said.
Everywhere.
Come on now.
Everywhere.
And even though you want to get rid of it, it's like, why is this thing still?
Yes, absolutely. And what you'll see is that people feel like, well, why can't I get, if I have, let's say 50 pounds worth of weight on, why can't I get all 50 off? And sometimes it's like, well, you got to start with a pound. And you got to start what is the weight that can be lifted from you versus trying to lift everything. You want. Sometimes you get so overwhelmed with it that you get paralyzed by it, that you can't feel like I can't move anything, so screw it. And so what I would like to do today is just to talk about a little bit about it and how people can get through it in digestible bites, right? Like how can we do this in a way that is tolerable to us, that doesn't overwhelm us, and that can, have some positive progression going forward.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Andre, you want to?
I'm just taking it all in right now.
well, let me pose a question to everyone. Everyone, you said, Ms. Cassandra, you said that you've had trauma. Everybody has had some form of trauma, something that they've had to deal with. One of the first things that I try to do with all my clients is, how are you defining it? Because the words we use are really going to be powerful in how we remember things, how we hold things. So some people will say, well, it's all sadness. So I'll use my grandmother as an example, right? The way she died, she was murdered, period, right? It's not like she died. And it took me probably 2 years to say that she was murdered. So first off is identifying exactly what the trauma is and also what it is not, right? Creating boundaries for it so that you can work on what is within the boundaries. So many people want to say, well, it's because of my grandmother and the church and the other people. And it's like, yeah, it may be all of those things, but what is the center? What is the core of what is bothering you?
Yeah.
So for me to reconcile that my grandmother was murdered, under what circumstances she was murdered, right? It became an international incident. It was about race. It was a representation of our progression as people, and people such as Dylan Roof saying that we don't want this continuation of this progress of our people. Let me do something to kind of reset the way we see things in America. So having to grapple with all of that and finding the layers of healing with that. So as I was able to heal with my grandmother, it gave me the freedom and the empowerment to address other things. And that's what I mean by finding it in digestible kind of bites, finding the core, working on that, and then being able to see, once I am better with this, what does this unlock in me so that I can start to work on other things, give me clarity to do so.
Let me ask you something. You said something that really clicked with me. That digestible bites, when in identifying what that trauma is. My trauma, when it comes to South Carolina, Charleston especially, is that I was threatened and attempted to be killed by white supremacists in Charleston. I mean, literally, a white man stood in my yard with a shotgun, pointed at my door, and told me, nigga, if you don't get out of this community, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
I fell on the floor, slammed my door. I tell y'all no lie. My house phone was about right there. I was on the floor right here. I could not even, I was so traumatized, Brandon, I couldn't even reach over to touch the phone to call the police. That thing damaged me. I left my home not long after that, Charleston, South Carolina, and I tell my family, they always like, why you don't like coming home? Because that thing has affected me in such a way.
Sure.
You understand? Now, I want to jump from that. When your grandmother and the others were killed, Emmanuel, I was shooting a movie in Alabama. I got in my car, headed through Atlanta, dropped some things off, picked some stuff up, and drove to Charleston. When I got there, it was just maybe 8 hours since it all happened. That's how crazy I was driving. And so I went and pulled in front of Emmanuel as close as I could get and just began to weep uncontrollably because it reminded me of what I had been through. And that could have been me that a white group of supremacists had killed that day. So now I've told you that. Tell me, in the church, I thought, oh, you saved, you good.
Not safe no more.
It don't.
Right. Yeah, so that's interesting that you say that, because part of my grieving with my grandmother was knowing this. She was exactly where she was
wanted
supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other place on earth
Mm-hmm.
at that moment, at that time, where she was supposed to be. So that aspect it gave me some semblance of peace. But then I had to deal with all of the other stuff. And like you said, the triggering, because the thing that was the most triggering for me and that was the most traumatic for me was, oh, damn, they're right. All of the things that it sounds like I heard when I first walked in, the intergenerational stuff that is coming. The Emmanuel Church, I think that's the second or third version of it, because it's been burned throughout the years. And all of the things that white supremacists have done to try to correct, quote unquote, the progress that Black people have made. And me being a child of the 80s and 90s, wanting to believe that, no, we're a little bit better than this. And then you realize, like, no, we're not. But the fear cannot override the faith. Absolutely. Right. So I think, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to instill such fear that it would eliminate the faith of our people.
Absolutely.
And so to me, I feel that as a warrior of that I have to keep that in mind. Like, they're always trying to make sure the things that make us feel good, the things that make us feel secure and connected in life are the things we cannot lose sight of, in spite of how traumatic someone may try to do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, I want to ask you, you ready?
I can't talk about this.
Look, I know. People don't realize, though, even talking about it can be traumatizing to some people.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And it's strange because I just tried to override it. But I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to let you answer part of it, and then we're going to come back. You mentioned that, well, let's say this. Healing starts with safety and stabilization. What does that look like in real life, everybody?
So let's give an example. So you said that you were discombobulated, like, right, that attack happens, you're on the floor, you can't reach your phone, right? So you're so kind of stuck in the trauma that you're almost paralyzed. In times, allowing yourself that opportunity, like, no, this is what's happening. I am paralyzed. Let me give myself a moment. Sometimes you try to move so fast that you may make a misstep. So it's really, number one, just like, where am I? How do I get myself in a good headspace so I can even recognize what's happening? Because when you have so many things going through your mind, it is really difficult to focus on any one thing. And so that's part of it, being able to take some time. It could be a minute, it could be 2 minutes, but just saying, all right, what the hell is going on here? What in the world is going on? And being able to define it. And that in and of itself can say, okay, I'm here. Because most of us have the tools that we need to get through. A lot of times we just can't access them, particularly in active times of trauma. So being able to recognize this is what's happening. What tools do I have to kind of get me going, whether it's deep breathing, whether it's going to the restroom or whatever, to get yourself in the best state of mind so that you can access the tools that you have available to deal with this as best you can.
Yeah, Brandon, but sometimes it's hard figuring out what tool you need at that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that sometimes it's when I was laying on that floor, all I could think about that if I moved, he was outside with the gun.
Sure.
Would he shoot me through my wall or something? That
was the plan.
That you understand what I'm saying? So I was just paralyzed. And my brain was just thinking, I gotta survive through the night. And thank God my children weren't there. That was the two thoughts in my head. And it took a minute, Brandon, for me. I literally slept on the floor that night. I slept on the floor of my house. When the sun came up is when I got up and reached for my phone and called the police.
Because you felt it was safe.
I felt it was safe. So that was where that safety and stabilization came in.
Exactly what you were supposed to do.
Okay.
Stay there until you can decompress, feel that you're better equipped to do something, and then go from there. Absolutely.
Listen, we're about to take a break, and man, thank you, Brandon, because I'm learning. So I'm dealing with some issues while you talking. I'm getting some healing right now. Look, I'm getting my healing. So we're going to be back shortly. We are Power Blendz 99.8.
I'm so hot. Where real radio lives.
Camera's on.
Okay.
Hi, y'all.
So that way you can say hi
Hey,
to
guys. Hey, CC. Yeah, that's what everybody at home calls me. If you call me Cassandra in Charleston, ain't nobody going. It's like, who? You say CC? Yeah, we got you. Hey, Sharon. Come on to Atlanta. Come on. It happened so suddenly. I woke up one morning with you on my mind.
No matter what I did, couldn't stop thinking about you. Want an instant replay of yesterday. Somebody loves you, baby. Somebody loves you, baby. You're not going to you can make a slave out of me. I worship you and nobody else. I'm pledging my love to you I need you right now. Baby, don't say no. 'Cause you look like you're too getting on. Whatever you give me, I'll give it to you back. Oh, the love, honey, you ever need, I never change it.
Don't do that. No, I'll stay away from
You're so silly.
Blendz 99.8. So hot, where real radio lives.
All righty, we are back and we are getting back with our own personal psychologist, Mr. Brandon Risher. So, Brandon,
Yes,
listen, when I had that experience where I was on the floor of my house, afraid to move, I was ashamed and I could not figure out, why would you do that? Why would you? What was that? What?
I guess before,
Help me.
yes, before, what would you compare? What were you comparing yourself to? Like under that circumstance, what were you supposed to do?
I was supposed to raise my hand, get up, run to the door, and shoot me, white boy. I don't know. I don't know, Brandon.
No, but that's,
You know-
I'm glad you said that, because that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
A lot of times the shame and the guilt that we feel is that we compare ourselves to someone that we can never be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If somebody has done the appropriate thing to do under that circumstance is to do exactly what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, it may not feel good to you to do that because you kind of understand all the potential ramifications and you're having these different points of views. Like, I wonder how it looked if somebody's outside looking at this and I look like I'm scared. It's like, yeah, fear is the appropriate emotion. at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and giving yourself grace to understand it. Like, no, I was supposed to be. Now, that fear does not stop me from living. It does not stop me from producing. It does not stop me from being a pillar in the community.
Mm-hmm.
But in this moment, how I was afraid allows me to continue to be here today to even ask me that question.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you give yourself grace about like, no, yeah, I was afraid. That's normal. That the feeling that I have that is self-evident is the thing that I should feel, but that is not a permanent state. That is how I felt in that moment. And when I am stabilized, that it gives me the ability to kind of put a different narrative to that. Right. Like you can think about the incident itself, what it meant to you, what it made you believe about yourself, about the incident, about race, about living in Charleston. But the stabilization gives you the ability to think about that with as much clarity as possible. So going back to the time that you were afraid to all the things you have done up until this point is giving you the freedom and the grace to allow yourself to say, yeah, I did that. I was that way, but I don't have to be that way. Now, what can I do to empower myself even more?
Okay, let me tell you what did happen after that.
Sure.
Once I got through it, and everybody was telling me, you need to move out of that area right now. You need to move out of your house now. These people are going to kill you. I was so determined not to do that this happened in July the 5th, 1989.
Okay.
They gave us a court date for this guy for October 1989. And everybody was telling me to leave. And I was like, they are not going to run me out of my house. I'm going to stay in Charleston until this court date. And I'm going to stand up there and let them know what this man did to me.
Yes.
Guess what ended up happening?
What?
Hurricane Hugo hit.
I remember that. Yes.
Damn. That's
Everything shut down.
Yes.
I mean, literally, Charleston was almost demolished.
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
And then they shut down all of the courts, everything, the buildings were messed up. And I made up my mind. I said, no, I have to get out of here now. Okay. So that was my determining factor. So I don't know whether, do you feel like I ran away or?
No, I don't think you ran away. I think I will never say to anyone that they should not do something. You know, my job is to give counsel about, let's think about all of the variables that come with that decision. Now, to say that you should leave for fear is, and I think, you know, particularly us as Black people, we easy to withdraw. Like, screw this, I'm out.
I'm out.
I don't want to deal with this no more.
I'm out.
Right. But it's really thinking about, well, what is needed? Do I need to leave or do I need to not be as afraid? So if I leave, I cannot use the community as a way of helping me feel safer, because that's what it is. And again, that's what identifying the trauma really is. Because if you misidentify it, then the right thing might feel is to leave or to withdraw or to be numb or to whatever it is versus, okay, what does this really rock for me? Did it rock my desire to stay here or did it rock my safety? Now, if it's safety that it rocked, now how do I use the community, the powers that be in order for me to feel safer? Because this is my home. I should want to leave when I want to, not because some asshole like this, excuse my language, you know, trying to, you know, to do that. Because in that case, I will always have to run. If I feel the need, you know, because I might misinterpret something, somebody doesn't say something, but now they stare at me in a way that makes me say, again, I don't want to deal with this, I'm out. So it's really understanding, what do I need for myself to feel safe so that the best of me can really exude both personally and the people around me can really enjoy that.
I like that. That's good. Okay, so let me tell you what the Charleston 9, the death of your grandmother and the others, what that did to me when I got to Charleston. So it was early in the morning when I got there. I went downtown, I went to the church, I cried, you know, did all that. I took pictures. I actually interviewed people, all colors of people that were there. and because as a writer director, that's part of what I do. So I'm talking to all of these people, and when I left there, it was like, go by the police station and get a copy of the incident report, since I didn't get to go to court because of the Hugo, right?
Mhm.
So it was like, go to the get that paper, get it in your hand and deal with it, read it. So I went, they could only find one of the incident reports, right? From that situation, because I had several that they did to me. They really tormented me. It was a group of them. They really tormented me. So I got the one report that they had, and I went to my car and I sat there and I was reading it, and I screamed, and I started like punching my dashboard and, screaming uncontrollably. But it was a release for me. Come on. Tell me what that was, Brandy.
That was catharsis.
Mhm.
And I think we all need that
Mm-hmm.
at certain points, whether it's individually, whether it's in your car,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's having friends and just being able to talk about it.
Mhm.
But we all need to release, because the great thing about reading and talking is that you have to make sense of something,
Mm-hmm.
right? A lot of times when we're in our heads and we have that inner monologue, it doesn't really have to make that much sense to us, because it's just us.
It's just me.
But once you're able to read something, you're like, oh, this is how y'all wrote this? This is what y'all said?
Mhm.
I didn't say this at all.
Mhm.
This is kind of what happened, right? So again, it's going back to understanding what happened versus what is the story that is being told, what is the story that I have told myself, and then based on that, how am I reacting? So it sounds like you had angry catharsis. Like, yeah, you were angry, or you just for sale, or a mixture of all of those things, and that was the release. So the question to you is, after that last punch of the steering wheel, how did you feel?
Oh, I felt like a relief. I mean, I literally felt like I released something in that moment that I'd been holding since 1989.
Yes, and we all have energies, right? And when you have traumas, it's just like weight just being added to you. That you get on the scale and you don't see it, but you feel it. Sometimes it's in your shoulders, sometimes it's in your back, sometimes it's in your gut, and sometimes you just gotta release that physically. For some people, that's what exercise is, or walking, or whatever. Well, we all need those times where you give yourself the space to be as angry as your body and your mind and your soul feels. And going back to the shame or the guilt, a lot of times we won't allow ourselves to be that. Nah, baby, I gotta be cool. I can't really show people how I'm really feeling, because they're going to take some extreme version. They're going to have their narratives about it, and I'm going to have to answer that. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to be cool about it, versus like, nah, man, it's some BS. And yes, after all of those years, it's still there, because one of the things, those traumas, those core memories, is that it can always come back.
Yeah. A trigger.
Right. It always does. And you don't run away from it. You just say, okay, this is what it is, but I get to control the narrative. It does not have to affect me today the way it did then. And as long as I understand that I have the power and agency to do that change, then I can feel like, yeah, it's okay to be angry. But my anger is not the anger of 89. It's the anger of 2015 or the anger of 2026. And if you can compare those, it's like, well, the anger might have been adjusted. Now it's more about helping other people. It's more about creating an organization, being on a radio program, something like that, where you can channel that thing that happened internally and express it through others. So I think having those cathartic moments from time to time is very helpful.
See y'all. Look, when I strike out at somebody, I'm just like releasing that energy.
I don't go to jail.
Yeah, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail.
Be saying, I know that F-bomb gonna come out soon.
It will not.
Yeah, because she's been holding it in for years.
Talking about Red, wish I say that. I know he's waiting for me to say it.
Look, all we have to do is have a conversation about Trump.
And there it goes.
And there it goes.
We touch a vein.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. It's like when you say anything about Trump, she goes from 0 to 60.
Yeah.
So he's a trauma trigger.
Yes, he is a
Yes,
trauma
he
trigger.
is.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Right.
The trauma trigger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. It's like that's all you have to do is mention something to do with Trump, and she goes off that. She goes off the handle.
I hate that because that means that he has that kind of control.
Exactly.
You know, it
Exactly.
really, and I hate that. But I just hate injustice and inequality so much that it just does something to me when I know that a person is hurting people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It don't have to be anybody I know. It's just hurting people. So
Mhm.
I gotta.
That's just like
Please pray for me.
that I do, trust me. I really do. Nah, but like it took me a while to get over stupid people doing, well, not stupid people, but people doing crazy things, right? So like basically, there are a lot of things that I went through that I don't talk about at all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like it hurts so bad I can't talk about it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I just leave that where it's at.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, what about that?
Mhm.
What about what he just said? What about the people that do that?
As long as you feel that the energy that you have contained is not being corrosive to you inside,
Mm-hmm.
then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times that's what happens, right?
Mhm.
We like, hey, I'm gonna keep this inside, and then it becomes toxic or corrosive internally.
Internally.
And it's so slow at times that you don't realize it until it's like, oh, this is the point of no return.
Right.
I can't turn this off. I can't,
Mhm.
or that it's so corrosive that something else can be a trigger that would not be a trigger otherwise, because you're always holding on to this. So it's really, if you feel that that holding on to it is not weighing you down to a degree that you feel that you're not really yourself because you're spending so much energy trying to contain this, then you know that if that is the case, then it's something to look at. But if you feel that you have it, pretty well handled, then good for you, because that is a form of feeling.
Okay, so Brandon, in just what Dre said, in that what he's feeling, that he's feeling or not feeling, what about, do you get caught in a cycle? And I want you to answer this when we come back.
Okay.
When can you be caught up in a cycle where you do the blow ups, like something happens and boom, it all comes out at one time? Are you silent and it just, like you said, it becomes like a sore within you, a corrosiveness within you? Okay, you understand? That's what I want us to talk about when we come back. So listen, guys, we are here with psychologist Brandon Risher. I'm just gleaning. I'm telling you, man, I'm just gleaning off of you, because all of us in here and all of y'all out there been through some things that you hold on. Come on, man. Let's just be real. But 99 Power Blendz 99.8. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
No, we come right back.
Right back.
That plays everything for you.
Turn it up. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something.
Hip hop and R&B on Power
Spend that
Blendz.
last 15 minutes or so talking about that.
We go back, it'll be 13 minutes.
13 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
13 minutes.
13 minutes.
Cool.
Water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Look for water.
It's on.
It might be brown sugar.
Leave it open. Leave it open. So you come right back. Mr. Nathan.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and listen based on what y'all said at the end. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to what was said.
Yeah, bro.
One word that describes him to me, legendary legacy.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
But also,
Yes. Yes, sir.
as a young kid in Greensboro, North Carolina, I had the opportunity to go to Fort Bragg. I had an uncle that was stationed there.
Anybody?
I had an uncle that was stationed there. And when we were there, you know how kids do, we run away from the base to see what's going on around us? We got a pickup truck and went down to Longington, North Carolina. Right there where Michael Jordan's bed,
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes.
right in that area, less than 3 miles from that spot, on the other side of the highway.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
I was there to cook up food. Get filed by the Long Beach interview. And then she and I confronted the cleaner.
Sure.
And we are back. And Mr. Brian Risher, I said Brandon Risher, we said we were going to pick up with you. So you got the ball in your court.
Okay. So last we were talking about informational trauma that is being held in, right? It's not necessarily being expressed, being held in. Again, go back to what I was saying earlier. I think if you know what it is, then it's easier to contain, right? You have to know like what it is. Am I pulling extraneous things into a trauma that doesn't really fit, right? And being able to understand, when I contain this, how is my life better, right? Because that's what healing is for. The purpose of healing is to be at minimum as good as you were, but preferably better than you were, right? Not without the acknowledgement that the trauma
Took place.
existed, right? You can't ignore it, whether you don't talk about it or not. It is the energy that you feel, right? Where you feel lethargic, you feel numb, you feel like you can't really, because it's the thing that you're dwelling on all the time without purpose, without finding like, okay, if I have a better understanding of this trauma, how does this allow me to work better, be a better lover, be a better friend, be a better confidant, employee, employer? What is the actual purpose? So is the containment of these emotions in line with what I am trying to do, what I am trying to be for myself and for the people who depend on me and care about me? So I think as long as you're doing that, then at some point, yes, you have contained it to a degree where maybe it doesn't bother you as much. And that's also kind of the purpose of it, right? Like it's not that I don't know that it's there, not that I don't have to acknowledge it, but I don't have to acknowledge it every time I'm talking to my lady and she feels that I'm upset. Like I don't have to go there. Like I have that contained enough where I understand that it's there, but it's not something that so affects me that, and I'm using this as an excuse or a reason why I'm not as good as I need to be. So it can be complicated, but I think again, understanding exactly what the trauma is and finding that boundaries where you can find the containment. Okay,
now I know y'all ain't gonna be honest on this one. Brandon,
yes,
I am a person, I'm getting away from it. I'm not completely away from it. I comfort eat.
Okay.
When I get high stress, I will snack all day long. In the middle of the night, I'm eating a full course meal.
Right.
You understand? Hence what I got on my body now that I need to get rid of. But how do you deal with that?
Well, eating is just a form of pleasure, particularly the things that we just feel good, feel better, right? The point of food is to be satiated. Like, I feel relieved. I feel, whatever. And a lot of times when those traumas are there and you're not able to kind of make sense of them, you just want them to go away. And the easiest way to do that is to eat, right? It becomes the condition that we have. So sometimes if you feel the craving and you have the ability, maybe it's taking a walk, maybe it's making a phone call with someone where you would spend that same time eating. You can talk to someone or do something else, or because it's really like when you have the urge to eat, it's usually best to just walk away or do something for a few minutes and then assess again. Is this something that I need or something that I want? Right. And a lot of times when you're dealing with trauma, all you want are the things you want. You're like, the need stuff is less important to me. Where's my candy? Where's my ice cream? Where's my fried chicken? Where's whatever? Because I know this is going to make me feel
better.
Right. But it will cost. There's always a cost.
Cost you a lot.
It's always going to cost you a lot, because particularly a lot of times when we tend to dwell on things, it tends to be at night, right? And so it's harder to walk. It's harder to go take a walk. It's harder to do the things that you would do during the day. So I only have so many options, and a great option is always to eat. As long as I can afford it, it's always there. So I would say, what is the food trying to do for you, and is that the only way you can get that met? Is that the only way you can get that, the need to feel good, the need to feel satiated, the need to feel something that is different than what it is? And food is an easy way of doing it, drugs or alcohol or whatever is an easy way of getting there. But what is it going to do for you, once you eat? Because a lot of times we stress eat and then we feel guilty about eating. And then it becomes, again, as you were talking about before, this spiral where we keep kind of going on. I eat and I feel bad about eating, and now I've created two traumas, right? Now you look at yourself and you're like, well, what happened? This? Right? What have I done to create this version of myself, right? That, and sometimes it's protective, right? Sometimes with trauma, like women who have experienced trauma, they tend to gain weight as a protective measure. If I feel less attractive, then maybe men won't do that. Right? And they may not necessarily be fully aware of it, but they kind of see the results of it. So a lot of times when we're trying to meet one need, we're creating these other traumas that we don't know about, that eventually we're going to have to get over. And what that does on the periphery is it creates this weird boundary, and you can never get to the source of the real trauma, because now you have to get into the weight or the cholesterol, the diabetes, or these other things that kind of accompany that stress.
Let me go ahead.
All right, so this is a question, right?
Sure.
I have this thing called Dre's DM, right?
Okay.
On my show in the daytime. So basically, it was a young lady that had wrote in, and she had gotten married last year, and found out, she found out recently that her mom slept with her husband 2 years ago.
Gee. Okay.
So when I get these, I pulled that one today from my DM, because when we talked about it today, it wasn't like, because my show is different. Right? The Dre and Heezy show is different, right? It's like the Breakfast Club on steroids.
Okay, well, I got to be a guest on that.
So what happens is that when that happened, we all said what we needed to say, but it was like it was like a little clowning moment of the situation, because we over here. We just went left, right? But being that you're here, what kind of, because when I come back on Friday, I'm going to bring this question back again.
Spin the block.
Right. What information to give to this young lady in her state of mind right now?
First, I would ask her, honestly, who are you the most angry with? And why? Is it the husband? Is it the mother? Because a lot of times what I have found is parent-child relationships, and sometimes the parent can be envious of a child. and that can manifest itself in very petty ways, because that's a pretty petty thing to do, irrespective of whatever the circumstances are.
Because I didn't understand why it was hidden until now.
Right.
So obviously, when he was with the daughter, he still interacted with the mother behind her back, right?
Right.
So when she just recently found out and she was asking, what should she do? You know, because we're crazy on my show, so it's like,
they crazy.
get rid of her.
Yeah, they
Divorce her.
crazy.
Annulment. Like, we were saying all kind of
I
stuff.
didn't know what I said. I told her, get the bag. Get the bag.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like, for her therapy, right? What should I address to her?
Again, I'm just gonna reiterate, what is the most shocking to her? Because it's easy to focus on the husband or the mother. I think the secrecy kind of makes sense. In all honesty, it's like, what do you want to do? Do it in the open? Like, of course they're going to try to keep it secret,
Right.
Like, particularly if they want to keep that going. So that would not be something I would focus on. Well, they did it behind my back. It was like, well, no, well, of course they're going to do it behind my back. But it is this. Is this something that you were totally shocked by? Is it because a lot of times that's...
She sounded devastated.
She said, devastating is different than shock. Right? She could be devastated by it because it's like, man, I knew you would,
Right.
Come on, mama. Like, why'd you?
Right.
But really being able to, again, to put words to the shock of it all, because I would imagine she's so just like
torn.
Yes. Like, what is this? And before to make a decision, because the decision has to be made, period. A decision has to be made. What are you doing to put yourself in the best position to make the best position? This goes back to the stabilization and safety piece. Remove yourself. right, from it first and foremost,
right? Because
when you do speak, you're going to have to speak with clarity that they did not give you, right, and to me that is the most empowering thing. Remove yourself until you can speak with confidence and clarity about not about how much this hurts you, because that's obvious. If they have any semblance of understanding, that they would understand how much that would hurt you, because that's why they kept it secret. Because they knew how much it would hurt. So it's like, we're not going to deal with that. What we're going to deal with is, this is what needs to be done. Right? So husband,
you gotta go.
Mom, I don't know what type of relationship they have, but yes, you betrayed me, but is casting you aside what's best for me? I don't know what relationship they had prior to that happening.
Yeah, we don't know either.
Right.
Like, I just get these letters and
sure.
And I just pick them.
Yeah. But I would say be as honest and as clear about everything that you feel is humanly possible first. And from your perspective, just to listen and say, hey, baby, it ain't got to make sense now. That's what the talking's for.
Right.
So many people feel so compelled from the moment they speak to speak with such clarity that again can create an anxiety and paralyze them from just talking. Like, man, this is so BS. Like, yo, what in the, like, this is some Springer stuff. Like, what's happening here, right?
Like, some of the stuff that I get, tell them, Nabby, it'll make your head spin. But that one, I pulled that one because I wanted to really talk to her. And, she was listening and like.
She got some laughs out of it.
Yeah, she got some laughs out of it. We did make her feel good.
The last thing I would say is for that woman in your healing, be clear that this is not your fault.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you could have done to make them do that. This is not about you. You're just being affected by it.
Right.
This is about them.
Well, listen, we are going to, Brandon, it's always a pleasure to have you, man. Come on, man. We gonna have to have you up again.
Hey,
Look.
I'm trying to come monthly.
Yeah, but
you can keep talking.
Yeah, you keep talking.
Keep talking to them.
So we are grateful for you guys coming in. Thank you, Brandon Risher, our psychologist. Here he is. And thank you, Mr. Nathan Knight, who is still in the room with us. Thank you so much for coming and blessing us. We love you, YouTube. We love you, TikTok. Oh, TikTok.
She going
Oh,
TikTok.
yeah. We thank you so much for tuning in. All of our Facebook friends, thank you. And we'll see you next week. Oh, thank you, Brandon.